Mo. Live with Momentum, Motivation, and Moxie. Written by Shawn Doyle, Lauren Anderson. Narrated by Dave Clark. Chapter 1. Victor Wernay, Chili Man. When we first saw Chili Man in Charlotte, North Carolina, we were amazed. Chili Man was outside of a bank building on a Thursday and had a long line of people who were patiently waiting to be served. While people were standing in line, Chili Man kept up a constant patter of comedic lines, and people were laughing and joking along with him. He would ask people if they would like Fluffy Bunny mustard or his world-famous custom Merlot BQ sauce, made with Merlot wine, on their hot dogs, both his own brands. While standing in line, people could read various funny signs like "Chili Dogs making you smarterer." "If you lined up all the hot dogs we have ever served, it would really go a long way," and "I am the only son of an only son of an only son." When you think about it, this is extraordinary. Hot dog vendors are supposed to serve food. They're not supposed to be a source of entertainment and a boost for morale. They are usually boring and not memorable. But that is not and never has been how Victor Wernay, a.k.a. Chili Man, does things. "It was never about hot dogs," he says. "It was always about becoming a legend." The way he says this is remarkable because it sounds like a passionate mission and not a statement of ego. Victor started his career working in and around various restaurants and food service businesses. He worked in pizza places, coffee shops, and other casual dining venues. He once worked as a manager of a pizza parlor and realized that he most of all loved serving and interacting with people. At this pizza parlor, he created a very unique approach. Each time children came in with their families, they got to color a picture and write their names on it, and then it was posted somewhere on the walls of the restaurant. Eventually, the entire interior of the restaurant was covered with children's drawings and colored pictures. This led to an interesting phenomenon. Children would bring their families in to show off their work. It meant a significant increase in business, and it was a very popular and unique feature of the pizza parlor. Unfortunately, as Victor relates, upper management decided that it was too much and decided to take all the pictures down, which led to a significant dip in business. At a coffee place where Victor worked, he loved joking around with customers and was always able to put smiles on their faces. But he soon grew weary of his manager's approach. The manager once criticized him for having coffee stains on the counter. Victor responded, "Well, of course there's coffee stains on the counter. It's a coffee place." The behaviors and mindset of the corporate world and their obsession with the bottom line over the interest of people was driving Victor crazy. Victor and his wife decided to take a vacation and travel around Europe for a while. They both had a lot of time to think. One day, when they were driving around, Victor asked his wife, "What do you think I should do?" She paused briefly and then said, "I think you should own a hot dog cart," and smiled. Victor asked her if she was joking, and she says, "No, I think you have all the skills and abilities to own a hot dog cart. You have background and experience in food service and the personality to make the thing successful." He thought about the idea for several weeks and asked friends about it because for some reason it seemed like a silly idea to him. All his friends were very supportive and thought he should go for it. He researched the cost of buying a hot dog cart and the licensing required, and as he says, sometimes you have a combination of good timing and luck. Well, as luck would have it, a hot dog vendor at a popular corner in downtown Charlotte happened to quit, and that space became available 2 days a week. The rest, as they say, is history. The former comedian and actor set up a hot dog stand at the corner of 4th and Tryon. Victor says, "People have a choice when they get up every day. They can have a bad day or a good day. I choose to have a good day." He started talking up the crowds that lined up, and he had a new crazy saying on his sign each day. "I try to make a personal connection with each person. I think people really crave connection. It's a human need. I try to make a personal connection on some fact. It might be the weather, their name, the sports news of the day, whatever." He smiles and says, "Any boob with $4,000 can get a hot dog guy, but I want to be the hot dog guy, Chili Man." One other lesson I learned early, says Victor, is if people are slightly happy and not thinking about their wait in line, they don't mind as much. Secondly, I learned this in the restaurant business. The people in the back of the line need to be acknowledged, and as long as they are, they will stay too. Well, the business began to build, and without actually seeking locations, he landed 2 days a week outside bank offices and an additional day outside a law school. People were amused by his very unique sauce names. "I noticed things," says Victor, "and I thought the sauce names you see in stores for barbecue and especially hot sauces are awful and scary. You know, names like Hot Sauce Suicide or something like Skull Splitting Sauce with an evil-looking skull on it. Well, who wants to eat that? So I've come up with names that sound better and more edible and nice, like Fluffy Bunny, for mustard, or Fluffier Bunny for spicier mustard, and Cuddly Baby Barbecue for mild sauce, and God's Gift to Barbecue. You have to taste that one." Why use such crazy product names? I'm not really totally sure why, but I've always had a kind of obsession with naming things. When I was acting, I had a card that said, "Victor Wernay, actor, comedian, and legendary model for the visually impaired." He chuckles. I know it's not politically correct, but they still remember the card. My goal is simple. 1, to make people laugh, and 2, to be remembered, not just for the product, but also remembered as me. He has 1 hot sauce, 1 ketchup, 5 mustards, 6 mayonnaises, and 5 barbecue sauces. "I just love playing around with the food," he says. Victor's early years were shaped by a father who had a dry wit and a mother who was extremely extroverted. She acted in plays and would play the accordion for anyone who would listen. And no one wanted to hear the accordion. No one ever does. His Aunt Janetta was the loose cannon of the family. Her loony humor at family get-togethers kept them all laughing, and perhaps also shaped Victor's own brand of humor today. He was also influenced by a drama teacher in high school named Art Gage. Art taught Victor's drama class, but more importantly encouraged him to get involved in Project Adventure, an outward-bound style program. This built his confidence. Victor thinks his keys to success look deceptively simple, but are hard to learn. Always go for the personal connection. I go into a Sam's Club store to buy supplies, and everybody who works there knows me, is glad to see me, greets me. I gotta tell you, it blows my friends' minds. I may take it to the extreme, but people love to be connected with everyone. Once on a hot day, a man came up to his cart with a dog and ordered a hot dog, a soda, and a bottle of water. Victor handed him the hot dog, the soda, the bottle of water, and a cup. The man looked at the cup and said, "What's the cup for?" Victor smiled and said, "Well, the cup is for your dog. I know the soda is for you, the water is for your dog." The man was amazed, but as Victor says, that's the extra touch, the extra mile. That is service, the little details. His service is so great that he averages about 15% in tips each day in addition to the regular revenue. No one tips hot dog guys, right? Victor has customers that are so loyal that they walk by his cart and say in a guilty tone, "I'm sorry I can't buy your food today. I have to go to a business luncheon." The bond Victor creates makes them feel obligated. Victor says, "Well, the irony is I have never chased anything. I'm doing what I do, and it just happens. New locations get offered. People ask me to set up at festivals. It just happens that way." He's working on a possible deal to package and distribute his sauces. They met me and asked me. Like I said, it just happens. As we leave Victor Wernay, Chili Man, he's wearing a crazy hat and joking with a woman about her name. She's laughing and smiling while she's buying a hot dog.
Notes.
1. Connect. Go out of your way to find some method or technique to connect with people. In an age of technology and impersonal communication, people want to be connected in a personal, individual way. As Victor says, they crave it. 2. Be original. The signs with the funny sayings, the humor, and the original sauce names. They are all original, and more important, memorable. We simply forget the average, but we remember the extraordinary and unique. We also tell our friends about the extraordinary and unique, creating buzz and word-of-mouth advertising, the best kind. 3. Serve people. When you serve people and don't worry about rules, regulations, and things being too much, people respond. Well-meaning managers eliminate things people like for their own business reasons, but they are not the reasons of the customers. The consequence is angry customers and lost business. 4. Reinvent your category. There were plenty of hot dog stands before Chili Man's, but by using unique approaches and ideas, he changed his category. He has no competition. People want to wait in line for the food and the show. 5. Be observant. Look around at the world, the business, and your customers. Think about what they want. Watch what they do. Look at products and try to make them better. Look at every detail. Look at the products' names and packaging and how they are sold. Keep your eyes open to opportunity.
Memo.
Think about your business or role at the business you work for. Make a list of things that your customers respond to positively. Try to make changes that are in accordance with that list. Pull out a piece of paper. On that paper, write down a list of at least 5 ways you can connect better with your customers. They might be ways to connect on social media, such as Twitter or LinkedIn, or they might be ways you can connect in person. How can you be more unique with your product and services? Sit down with a group of friends and brainstorm a list of ways that you can differentiate yourself from your competition. Take some quiet time alone to think through what you're currently doing for a living. Do you have a passion for it? If you don't, figure out a plan to get out of that industry in the next year and into what you have a passion for doing.